Hello guys, I'm Justin JT and today, I'm covering Ghost X Startpoint, a Roblox video made by Dead Productions. Ghost X Startpoint is the prequel to Ghost X and shows the origin of Walter Vanderbilt and the Ghost X we saw in the first video. The video style is very much influenced by 1950s style with its black and white filming. So how many kills do we get if a ghost starts its killing? Let's find out and get to the kills. The video begins with this. Then we get a title card with some spooky music. We then see Walter telling his girlfriend. She then tells him that she be here, cleaning the house and doing lunch for herself and dinner for when he comes back. He then tells Shelly, I love you. Oh, that's nice. She does too. We then see Walter leave the house and walk to his car. He then gets into the car. He then starts driving to his way to work while the music plays. He then parks his car and gets out of the car. He then walks to the office to grab some papers. He opens the door. Fade to black. He then grabs the papers. We then see John. He's Walter's friend from work. Also, his full name is John James. Yes, I'm not even joking. He then walks to the office to go and grab something. He then opens the door. He then tells Walter hello. Same thing with Walter to John and asks how's he doing. He says that he's doing well and tells him that he was gonna get something from the office but didn't know. But Walter doesn't mind it. John then asks Walter if after work they could go to the jazz club and to do the twist. And for people who don't know what the twist is, it's a dance that was inspired by rock and roll music from 1959 to the early 60s. It became a worldwide dance craze. Walter then agrees to join with John and maybe he'll get some women. Damn, I didn't know Walter got that dog in him. But John tells him that he has a girlfriend and if he does that, it will be a sin. Walter then tells him that it won't be that bad and John hopes it won't. Cut to later in the day. We then see Walter and John at the jazz club doing the twist. Walter says that he'll get a drink. We then see him walking the bar. He then asks for a Coke. He then gets the Coke. Cut to 4 hours later. We then see Walter looking dizzy. As he leaves the club looking dizzy, he then goes down the stairs and leaves from the building. He then says that he'll walk to his house, but first he'll go to the shop. Fade to black. We then see him walking to the shop and asks why is so bright in the shop. We then see a cashier check the register before she closes for the day. She then sees Walter. Walter then sees her, and the both of them start talking. She asks what brings him here. Walter then tells her that he's dizzy from the club, and he came here for a drink. She then asks him if he wants to stay at her place, so that he doesn't get lost. He agrees. Shelly then asks what's taking Walter this long, and that he hasn't answered his calls. She then goes to watch some news on the TV while she waits for Walter. We then get the intro to a news station. Oh, well, I wonder what this could be a reference to. We then see a news reporter about to report the day's news. He says that Walter's having an affair with another woman that isn't his girlfriend and also might be cheating on her, but there might be more to the story and that he'll keep them updated. He then reports news about the world. It gets turned off. Shelly then realized that Walter's cheating on her. Cut to the next day. We then see Walter in someone else's bed. He then realized what he did and that he needs to head to the office. We then see Walter on the phone with John and tells him about the news. John then asks what they should do about that and Walter says to get rid of the evidence, which starts with the death of Walter's girlfriend. And Walter says it gotta be him that killed Shelly cause he wants to protect his reputation. Shelly then leaves the house to find her boyfriend and to better understand what happened. She then walks onto the street for a bit. We then see John in his car as he drives towards Shelly while music plays in his car. She then turns around, is shocked. She then gets ran over off screen. John then reverses the car into her again, which kills Shelly. After that, John drives away. John then tells him that he killed her and asks if he's proud now. Then the next day, we then see the cemetery while thunder strikes. In the background, we then see a grave digger about to go. He then starts to walk to the cemetery. We then see him digging some dirt from a grave. Let's just hope he doesn't open the grave of the Mr. Jason Voorhees. He then leaves the cemetery. He then hears a voice saying that it is rising and now the Ghost X is born. Ghost X levitate towards him and then kills him with a neck snap. We then see John driving on the road. His car then stops and is now in control by Ghost X. John asks to make it stop. The car then starts to drive by itself again. The car then turns left on the road. It continues driving. It then drives straight into a gas station. John asks why is he there. Ghost X then tells him that gas stations start fires and that he's the one that started the fire and tells him goodbye. The gas station then explodes, killing John in the process. Then 2 days later, we then see a mechanic on a call with Walter and asks if he can bring his car for a repair after work, and he agrees to repair Walter's car. He hears noises. It tells him to come closer. He starts to walk. It tells him to come closer again, and he moves. He continues to walk. It now tells him to go under, and he agrees. It then grabs him and puts him under the machine. The ghost then presses the button, and the machine starts to move down while the mechanic begs for his life. It then crushes him to death. The next day, we see her checking the register before she closes shop for the day. Then some lights flicker in her shop. The ghost then speaks to her and tells her to go outside and tells her she ruined something that Shelly loved and that she have her revenge. She then heads outside. She then leaves her shop and looks around in confusion. Then something happens. The ghost then possesses her, but I won't be adding her getting possessed to the count because it's more of Ghost X possessing her body than in killing her, and she gets reanimated as a zombie. It then starts levitating towards Walter's workplace. It then stops. It then levitates to his work and goes up the stairs. It then levitates to the balcony and stands there while it waits for Walter. We then see him grab some papers. He then leaves the room and heads up the stairs.
He then turns around
to see her. Ghost X then tells him. He asks her why is she doing this. It then tells him that he thought he could get away with this. And here it is. And it's ready to ruin the one thing that he loved, just like how she ruined the love for each other. Walter then begs for her to don't do it. It tells her that it's too late. She then jumps off the balcony, which kills her, but not the ghost. It flashes for a bit before it turns into her dead body. We see Walter in shock of her death, and it tells him that he now knows the shame. Walter then starts to run away while the ghost taunts him. The ghost then starts to laugh and continues to laugh. The video ends with a fade to black. So that's the end of that video. So how many kills did we get? If it's the start of Ghost X, let's find out and get to the numbers. 5 people died in Ghost X Startpoint. A bit low for the prequel of a series, but it is what it is. The victims were 3 male victims and 2 female victims, giving us this very 1950s blue pie chart. Now we're gonna compare the kills in the series. Ghost X Startpoint had less kills than Ghost X by 2, and with a runtime of about 9 minutes. We get a kill every 1.8 minutes. We've seen this number twice before on Club Dead, those being Lego Deadpool Episode 1. And Lego SCP Files What Lurks. Obsidian Chainsaw doesn't have many options, but I'll give it to John James because it's a cool explosion. Dirt Knife will go to the mechanic cause it wasn't the best kill, in my opinion. And that's it. Ghost X Startpoint was posted onto YouTube this month and now has to plan sequels, which are titled Ghost X The Possession and Ghost X The Final Chapter, which will be released in 2025. But until we meet again, I'm Justin JT, and be fun people.